Madison's Common Council voted in favor of a new zoning proposal, but not everyone is on board with the plan. Plus, why House Republicans are working to impeach Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. This is News 3 Now at noon. Good afternoon, I'm Mark Kane. Thanks for joining us. Let's head right to the Weather Center. Meteorologist Greg Barnhart has a look at your certified most accurate forecast and some snow on the way.
Yeah, we do have a winter storm coming up. Like I said, most areas will get snow, but there is that freezing rain mix potential here, probably US 51 south of the area. That's something to keep in mind this evening. The heaviest snow will be probably more central Wisconsin right now. You see the clouds beginning to increase. The system is to the south. We zoom in right now. Temperatures overall in the mid to up 30s for most of the area. The system we're watching, you can just see there in the plains beginning to develop and push north. Most of the precipitation still in southern Iowa right now. Radar shows that we're not seeing anything right now. We'll probably start seeing some stuff approach central Iowa here in a couple hours. Overall temperatures mid-30s for most locations. Fairly still comfortable for this part of January. Overall pretty uniform across Dane County with 36 or 37 degrees for most locations. Big picture, it's warmer much to the south. They're actually going to have some severe weather with this. Slight risk of severe weather further south with this. So it's a fairly warm system. Once again, not a lot of cold air with it. So if you're walking your dog this afternoon and this evening, still dry conditions too. We'll see probably precipitation start closer to 8 p.m. for Madison, maybe a little earlier further south. If your pets like the snow, they'll have that for tomorrow to deal with. Overall, there's a big picture of the winter weather advisories in purple, the winter storms in pink. I'll break down all the timing, when to expect the rain, snow mix, and what the rest of the weekend looks like a bit later in the broadcast.
And that was a picture of you and your dog.
That was my dog, guys.
What's her name?
Scout.
It is a her.
It's a him.
What's his name? Scout. All right, Greg, we'll check back in a few minutes. Thank you. 50-50 chance. Stay up to date on the weather in our First Warn Forecast weather app. It has hourly forecast, school closings, and road conditions, plus the latest radar. You can download it for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC Weather. Day 2 of the trial of former Badger wide receiver Marcus Randall L. is now underway. Randall L. is accused of double homicide for the murders of Brittany McAdory and Sierra Winchester in Janesville back in 2020. He has pleaded not guilty. Police officers who first responded to the scene where the women were found testified this morning. They also presented body camera video to the court. You can follow along with the latest of the trial on channel3000.com and our Twitter page. And later today in our newscast, our Catherine Merck will have more coverage recapping everything that's happened in court so far. Right now, Darlington police are asking for the public's help in finding a man who's been missing since October. Investigators say 75-year-old Eugene Taylor could be in danger. Family and friends say they haven't heard from him since mid to late October. He's described as 6 feet tall, 240 pounds, and frequently travels between homes in Darlington and Seward, Alaska. Officials say that he may be hitchhiking. If you see him, call police at the number on your screen. New today, the Madison Common Council approved a zoning proposal to address housing issues along the city's bus rapid transit route. Supporters say the transit-oriented development plan will give the city flexibility to add living spaces that see consistent transit. Areas zoned for single-family homes could allow for duplex expansions, and higher density districts could go from a 5-story building limit to 8. Not everyone agrees with the plan. One alder raised concerns that the approach was too broad and the city was taking on too much too fast. Happening today, a panel of judges will hear arguments as former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin seeks to appeal his murder conviction. Chauvin's lawyers are asking the court to overturn his conviction for the 2020 murder of George Floyd. They're accusing prosecutors of misconduct, arguing the case should not have been tried in Minneapolis and the jury should have been fully sequestered. They also want the court to review whether the trial should have been delayed due to its high-profile nature. Just days into the start of the new Congress, House Republicans have drafted articles of impeachment against Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. But John Lawrence tells us not all of the GOP is on board.
Senior House Republicans are getting ready for hearings that focus on the migrant crisis at the U.S.'s southern border.
I've got a lot of work to do, and we're going to do it.
Not if some House Republicans have their way. GOP Representative Pat Fallon of Texas introduced articles of impeachment against Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, alleging he failed to enforce the country's immigration laws, also contending he lied to Congress that the border was secure.
I'll never use impeachment for political purposes. But if the person is a derelict in their duties and they're harming Americans and Americans are actually dying by the lack of their work, that could rise to that occasion.
The House Judiciary Committee is prepared to move ahead with formal proceedings if there's a consensus within the GOP, according to a source directly familiar with the matter.
Impeachment is, in case of emergency, break glass, and it seems as if we have taken that to a common thing. It shouldn't be a common thing. Look, the DHS Secretary Mayorkas has made a lot of mistakes, and there's clearly a lot of people upset.
Other GOP skeptics include Rep. Don Bacon, who said, quote, "I don't think independent swing voters are interested in impeachments." In a statement, a spokesperson for Mayorkas made clear he has no plans to resign.
I've got a lot of work to do. I'm proud to do it alongside 250,000 incredibly dedicated and talented individuals in the Department of Homeland Security.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
If an impeachment resolution gets through the House, there is virtually no chance of it getting two-thirds majority conviction in the Senate. While Democratic lawmakers are bashing the idea, some Senate Republicans are also leery of the potential move. Well, since Buffalo Bills personnel performed CPR and used a defibrillator to resuscitate player Damar Hamlin after a sudden cardiac arrest, people around the country are signing up for training to learn how they can respond in an emergency. Jill Levine organized these trainings throughout the Robbie Levine Foundation. She lost her 9-year-old son to cardiac arrest on the Little League field in 2005. Levine's mission: to donate AEDs to any league, organization, or facility that needs one.
Robbie had to wait for the ambulance to come. It's too late. It's too late. That's why they need to be everywhere. If there was an AED on the field, he would be alive.
The American Heart Association says more than 350,000 cardiac arrests happen outside of the hospital every year. Paramedics say every minute defibrillation is delayed means a 10% less chance of survival. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. The number of people skipping or putting off medical care is going up, and Corvette is set to release its fastest vehicle yet. That's next in the Money Watch Report.
You're watching News 3 Now at noon. Do you suffer with pain, numbness, and tingling in the hands or feet, commonly diagnosed as peripheral neuropathy? Are you taking drugs such as Lyrica or gabapentin that have serious side effects and often do not relieve your symptoms? Your doctor has told you you may just have to live with the pain. Peripheral neuropathy is a result of damage to the nerves, often causing burning, weakness, pain, numbness, tingling, and the most debilitating balance problems. Our facility uses multiple therapeutic methods to help give you relief from neuropathy symptoms with no injections and no drugs. You may start seeing relief after only a few sessions. To determine if your neuropathy symptoms can be relieved, we will do a consultation to evaluate the extent of your condition. Call us today to schedule your neuropathy consultation to find out if you're a candidate for our therapy. Call today.
At Lawton Cates, we're all about comebacks. Whether it's helping you recover after an accident or return to the job following an injury, we fight the odds and the insurance company for our clients every day. Your life counts. Lawton Cates.
With my low energy, I can't even blow up this celebratory balloon.
At Planet Fitness, there's hope. Join Planet Fitness for $1 down, $10 a month, and turn your low energy into big fitness energy in 2023. In a clean and spacious, judgment-free zone with tons of equipment to get you energized. Download the free PF app and join today for $1 down and then only $10 a month.
Deal extended till January 19th.
Hello, I'm Roman Ryan of Ryan Funeral Homes. As a locally owned and operated funeral home, it's important to know that not all funeral homes are the same. Some other Madison area funeral homes are actually owned by corporations based outside of the United States. A corporately owned funeral home is focused on the bottom line, making services more costly. We have served local families for more than 80 years, and our priority is investing in the community and your family. In your time of need, Ryan Funeral Homes are here for you.
To count down the days, but my ski trip to Cascade Mountain with my cousin each year, so much fun. We used to to pretend like we were flying. Now, we really do. My dad and my uncle like that we still ski free. But Noah and I, we just have fun. See you there.
Nearly 40% of Americans say they skipped or put off seeking medical care last year due to high costs. That's according to a new Gallup poll, and it's a 12-point increase over the previous year amid the highest inflation rate in more than 4 decades. The survey found low-income Americans were more likely to delay receiving care, with 27% of respondents admitting they skipped treatments for very or somewhat serious illnesses. Could Microsoft be the latest tech giant to cut jobs? A Sky News report says the Washington state-based company is planning to slash 5% of its global workforce, totaling around 11,000 employees. Already, tech companies like Twitter, Meta, and Amazon have announced layoffs in recent months. Microsoft declined to comment on the Sky News report, telling CBS News it doesn't comment, quote, on rumor. And 70 years after the first Corvette hit the market, Chevrolet is set to release its fastest model yet, and this one is a gas-electric hybrid. Later this year, the new all-wheel drive E-Ray will speed onto the market with the ability to go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in a head-jerking 2.5 seconds. Pricing will start at $104,000 for the coupe version and $111,000 for the convertible. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Chanel Call.
Let's check Wall Street at the noon hour. The Dow Industrial is down 394 points. The NASDAQ down 82. The S&P 500 down 40. Well, Party City has filed for bankruptcy protection. The company said in a regulatory filing that it reached an agreement with debt holders to cut its $1.7 billion debt load. It comes after years of losses and weak sales as online retailers and big box chains have been cutting into Party City's market share. Party City says it will be able to keep its stores up and running. And former Disney chief executive Bob Chapek is set to receive a hefty paycheck following his exit. Chapek abruptly left the company in November after a hectic 2-year stint marked by COVID-19 shutdowns. The Walt Disney Company said the former CEO, who took over in February of 2020, is eligible to take home a severance package worth roughly $20 million. The board reportedly determined that Chapek was no longer the right person to serve in the CEO role. Our Call for Action volunteers are in the building taking your consumer complaints and taking action on your behalf. You're taking a live look at the Call for Action studio. Volunteers are here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so you can call right now for action at 608-270-2833 or submit a claim anytime at channel3000.com/call-for-action. Up next, we'll have your egg numbers, and Greg gives us the latest on the alert day in the forecast. And then today on Live at 4, looking for a new recipe to try out, Angie Horkin from the Wisconsin Beef Council will show us some sous vide beef recipes. That's coming up at 4.
Wisconsin. It's easy to take for granted how we warm up. But what if you couldn't warm up so easily? For many, it's a reality they can't ignore. Working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans struggling to keep their heat and power on in the dangerous cold of winter. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safe in your home. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
A New Day Boutique. Modern and chic women's clothing, jewelry, shoes, and accessories in a unique one-stop shop. Stop in today. East Johnson Street, Madison.
At McGann Furniture and Flooring in Baraboo, we know that hardworking people want the most value for their money. At McGann's, we've already sorted out and selected the brands that we feel offer you the most bang for your buck. From young couples to senior citizens, we offer a huge selection at prices that will fit your budget. And remember, at McGann's, we don't raise prices only to lower them later for a sale. Discover the difference at McGann Furniture and Flooring, downtown Baraboo.
Menards is your one-stop shop for all your pet supply needs. From start to finish, we have you covered with our wide selection of leashes and collars, toys to keep your pets entertained, treats to show gratitude, food for their daily fuel, and a large selection of litter to make the dirty jobs a breeze. If you need it for your pet, you'll find it at Menards, because we know the pets are family, and family deserves the best.
Save big money at Menards.
Right now with Papa Murphy's, we've got a great deal.
Which means I make more great pizza.
Like our $9.99 XLNY pizza. It's everything you'd expect from a classic New York-style pizza, hot and fresh out of your oven. Order now at papamurphys.com.
On the Jennifer Hudson Show, the legendary Debbie Allen. You always look so fly. Come on. Debbie came ready to dance. And the woman who gives part of every paycheck to those in need.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3.
A winter storm brings us an alert day. Tomorrow morning, I'll have the latest snow accumulations and how that will impact your day.
And we'll be on the road with a live look at travel conditions.
Then don't miss our next question of the day. Join us tomorrow morning from 4:30 to 7.
The Farm Report is sponsored by Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
And Pam Yankee from the Midwest Farm Report is out of the radio barn today. She'll be back tomorrow. Here are your farmmen. As Americans look for new ways to cope with a bumpy economy, schools nationwide are racking up debt to feed hungry students. The median district has more than $5,000 in lunch debt. That's according to the School Nutrition Association. Meg Oliver reports.
Here you go. What are you getting, cutie? At Makefield Elementary, Afifa Benjamin serves up cheeseburgers, sweet peas, and hot dogs and bologna, hanging with a few lyrics for the lunch crowd.
These kids are family to me.
The Pennsbury School District in Yardley, Pennsylvania has more than 9,000 students. 30% qualify for free or reduced school meals.
Are kids coming through this lunch line with trays full of food and no money in their account?
Yep. The federal waivers providing free school lunches nationwide during the pandemic expired in September. You guys want cheese? A new study shows school meal programs are at risk with rising costs and supply chain issues.
How high is your student lunch debt?
At the moment, it's $65,000.
Why is it so high?
I think families are having to decide whether they are going to pay their electric bill or pay for their students to eat meals.
Kimberly Steffi is the Director of Financial Services for the district. They're fortunate to have private donors pay their debt, allowing them to continue providing breakfast and lunch to every student, even if they can't afford it.
If you're a district that doesn't have these great donations coming in, what happens?
Those districts will have to take resources from their general fund to pay for the debt.
Nationwide, student lunch debt tops $19 million. Some districts are so desperate they've resorted to lunch shaming in the past, offering kids a cold sandwich instead of a hot meal, or banning them from school events if they carry a balance. Lori Atkins is president of the School Nutrition Association, who's urging Congress to permanently pass free school meals for every student.
We're really concerned about making sure that all hungry kids have access to food during the school day.
The current federal program pays schools back for each student meal served based on income levels. As part of a bipartisan bill last summer, Congress raised the reimbursement rate by 40 cents for lunch, but the program is set to expire in June.
Do you think Congress realizes how many students go hungry every day?
No. somebody needs to let them know.
What's your message to them?
Every kid needs to get fed.
Meg Oliver, CBS News, New York.
According to the USDA, more than 9 million children in America are food insecure, and the past few years has only pushed that number higher. Recent efforts for a more permanent solution appear to be stalled in Congress. An alert day or night could lead to some slippery roads tomorrow morning. Here's Greg with the complete forecast.
Yeah, we definitely got a winter storm here, but once again, we're kind of a lot of bit more on the warm side for a lot of the areas, so the snow is still going to be there, but not as much. So if you wonder what all this winter weather advisories and winter storms mean, basically right now we got a winter weather advisory for some areas, means there's travel issues, snow, but also know you could see some mixed bag of freezing, precipitation, other things. Now, certain areas to the north, mainly up to the Dells and further north, they got the winter storm warning, and that's because they got enough accumulation that cause the problems. You can also have a winter storm if you have enough ice accumulation too, so those are the two things that we're under right now. Like I said, most of it's going to be snow, but you look at this, it's going to be a wet snow. We look at snow ratio right now, we're going to be kind of in the thing where 1 inch of water is going to be quite a lot. So we're going to be to, as they call it, a 10-to-1 ratio, 12-to-1 ratio. That means 12 inches of snow to 1 inch of water. So right now it's going to be a heavy wet snow. Typically, as you go drier, in the colder winters of January, we get down to more of this, where you get a lot more snow for less precipitation. Unfortunately, this is going to be a wet snow to speak of, and you can go through this too as it zooms up. You get more snow as it gets drier too, so that's the thing that we won't be dealing with. Overall, you see the system is beginning to wrap up pretty good down to Central Plains. Like I said, they got severe weather going on down in Louisiana and Arkansas. This is beginning to lift north. Not a lot of cold air associated with it too. It's not going to be a very progressive system. It means it's going to kick through here pretty quickly. If we time this out, you can kind of see the precipitation begins to approach this evening. You'll see a little bit of rain mix and then turns over quickly to snow as we get towards tonight. It's going to wrap up that low right through Iowa and then lift north. As you see, we're going to get a break tomorrow, and that's really going to be about it. Maybe some flurries, a little bit of light snow tomorrow evening, and then it begins to lift off to the north by Thursday. So not a long system, maybe like a 12, 18-hour period, and then we're going to be good to go for really the rest of the weekend once we get this passed. So it's just going to be a short time we're going to deal with these travel issues. Right now, you see the northeast winds ahead of it right now. Temperatures overall fairly mild, mid-30s right now. We're going to see temperatures hold pretty steady drop. Here becomes the rain just beginning to approach. Then you're going to see a change over to mix and then snow. Where you see the pink, it could be freezing rain, it could be sleet. We even could see some light accumulation of ice, maybe from, basically you're looking from Grant County towards Madison area southward. Something to keep in mind of through about 10, 11. I think once we get past midnight, all of it will transition to snow. Once we get to tomorrow morning, we'll probably transition to light snow or flurries, maybe even drizzle further south. As you see, temperatures, we're not really going to get below freezing much. So that's the good news with roads. We should start seeing some melting tomorrow fairly quickly. Areas to the south of Janesville and those, they might just see rain all the time, not much in the way of snow. And then for tomorrow, you can see a few snow showers, flurries, even drizzle continue through tomorrow evening. Nothing really impressive with accumulation. We should dry out by tomorrow night, and then the weekend looks fairly dry. And once again, comfortable. Snow-wise right now, we're looking at maybe 1 to 3, and that'd be a really small chance for 1 towards Janesville. It looks like the best shot still for 6 to 9 is basically take Viroqua up to the north to the Dells, up to Wausau. That area still looks to be 6 to 9, more 3 to 6. And once again, some of these areas could get a little bit of light accumulation, maybe from Grant County down to Dane. Something to keep in mind of this evening too, until we change over to snow. So there's your alert day through tomorrow. It'll be over fairly quickly tomorrow. Looks dry through the rest of the weekend. Maybe some flurry chances next week. A slow decrease in temperatures, but still, we're looking at mid to low 20s for January. Still not that bad, but I do think we're going to be on a colder trend towards next week.
But above freezing, or freezing and above all night.
Yes, that's the good news, because roads will be, like I said, they can clean it pretty quickly tomorrow with it being above freezing.
And the salt will work. That's
yes,
for sure.
It will.
All right, Greg, thank you. There's more to come on News 3 Now and Noon. I'm next. Let's see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Some say chicken soup cures whatever ails you, and it just might. Everything from the sniffles to a hungry belly.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Cold winter weather's here, so why feel it inside your own home and in your wallet? USA Insulation's premium injection foam fills every crevice of your walls. even going over your existing inferior insulation. Our foam gives you high-tech comfort and saves you money on utility bills year-round. So stop bundling up and start building savings. Call now and get up to a 30% tax credit and low monthly payments.
USA Insulation.
Do you have a coffee smile? Drinking coffee causes yellow teeth for thousands of people just like you. And whitening toothpaste just doesn't make those stains go away. Introducing Power Swabs, the first teeth whitening system that lifts coffee stains off your teeth in less than 5 minutes without whitening strips or trays.
The Power Swabs were so easy to use. I don't have to have strips sitting on my face for an hour. I don't have to have a foam tray where I feel like I'm going to gag or I'm going to go play football. I've tried like every over-the-counter whitening because, you know, I'm one of those people that's like obsessed with white teeth.
So with the strips I've used in the past, most of them are like you got to leave it on for 30 minutes and the whole experience is just not comfortable. But with Power Swabs, I just snapped it open and rubbed it on and it was good to go.
This didn't sting, it didn't burn, it didn't have an aftertaste. It was just a swab and I just got to rub it on my teeth, and that was it.
The Secret is a tooth detergent and whitening agent developed by Dr. Martin Ginniker that lifts stains off of your teeth. Power Swabs remove stains on natural teeth, veneers, bonding, caps, and crowns. The best part is you just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and you'll have whiter teeth. No more sitting at home with a whitening strip or tray in your mouth for 30 minutes twice a day.
When I use these whitening strips, I noticed when I would drink, I would get this crazy sensitivity. It would go right to my brain, and I'm like, I hate this. So why do I have to go through the monstrosity of this pain just because I want to whiten my teeth? With Power Swabs, there was zero sensitivity.
Within the first day with the Power Swab, I noticed there was a difference. I really love the fact that you're able to go individually on each tooth and make sure that it's going to be wider.
Call for your 5-minute solution to whiter teeth. Whiten your teeth this new year by ordering Power Swabs and receive up to 50% off the regular price. Yes, 50% off the regular price. Shipping is free, plus you'll receive a free quick stick pen. Visit powerswabs.com or call the number on your screen.
When it comes to foods that we crave, nothing is as welcoming as a big bowl of soup. And when that soup is chicken soup, all the better. So let me share with you a recipe that's a warm-you-up favorite, as well as a way to help you get rid of the winter blues. We start by placing a whole chicken that's been cut into quarters into a large soup pot, along with some cut-up carrots, celery, and onions. Then we add some water. Yes, this is going to make a big pot of soup. But don't worry, because it freezes great. For the part that gives this all its flavor, we add some salt, pepper, and a couple of spoonfuls of chicken base. And if you're not familiar with chicken base, it's a super rich take on bouillon that is, let's say, spoonable. And you can find this in the soup aisle. After this comes to a boil, we'll turn it down and let it simmer until the chicken is fall apart tender. After we remove the bones from the chicken, we chunk it up and back into the soup it goes, along with some wild rice. That's all there is to it. What we end up with is a big pot of soup that is packed with so much goodness, it's practically a meal by itself. To get this easy recipe, all you have to do is go to our website and look for chicken and wild rice soup. I know you'll be glad you did. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a warm and cozy way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
And we have alert day for tonight and tomorrow with a snow, freezing rain that could be expected overnight, 2 to 6 inches. We'll have more details and a timing out of this precipitation at 4.